CMI has heard many accounts of people with a church background who became convinced of the millions of years.
Yeah.
It starts them on a slippery slope away from Christ.
Yeah, consider Charles Templeton. He's a famous example. He was a Canadian evangelist that at one point was more famous than Billy Graham. He traveled around the world with Billy Graham's team. Here's a picture of him in Fredericton, New Brunswick in the 50s.
Later in life, he wrote, "Farewell to God, my reasons for rejecting the Christian faith."
Yeah, sad.
And in that book, a big factor at the start of his rejecting Christianity was that he became convinced that the history in the Bible regarding a recent creation was wrong.
Yes, yeah, he records in his book how he told Billy Graham about it. He said, "But Billy, it's simply not possible any longer to believe, for instance, the biblical account of creation. The world wasn't created over a period of days a few thousand years ago. It has evolved over millions of years. It is not a matter of speculation, it's demonstrable fact," he writes.
Right, and eventually he would swallow evolution along with the millions of years, but it began with millions of years, and that led him away from the gospel. He was taught to just add millions of years into Genesis while taking Old Testament courses at Princeton University.
That's ironic.
In his book, he complains about how God is so cruel. He wrote, "Why does God's grand design require creatures with teeth designed to crush spines or rend flesh, claws fashioned to seize and tear, venom to paralyze, mouths to suck blood, coils to constrict and smother, even expandable jaws so that prey may be swallowed whole and alive? Nature is, in Tennyson's vivid phrase, red in tooth and claw, and life is a carnival of blood."
So he's looking at life today and seeing these things and then assuming that this has gone on for millions of years, including long before Adam, when the world was supposed to be very good. He thought God called all these things very good. Now, we understand that these things aren't consistent with what God calls good. But Templeton was wrong about the millions of years.
Right. He then concludes, "How could a loving and omnipotent God create such horrors as we have been contemplating?"
The answer is he didn't.
No.
God created a world that didn't include things that scientists find in the fossil record.
Right, so some of you might be freaking out right now, right? Like, if there's no millions of years, then how can we explain things like the layers of rock, the fossil record, and other things that we're told take a long time?
Yeah, and it's understanding Noah's flood is the solution.
100%.
The flood is the key to making sense of the age of the earth debate, because a flood would do things very quickly that without a flood would take a long time.
Yeah, like erosion, sedimentation, mountain building, continental drift. The flood accelerated all those processes.
Yes,